Know your fucking place, trash!
Hey everyone, it's Max Dustin here, back for a top 5 video this time. I'll be covering the top 5 worst movies I've ever seen, whether it be at home or in theatres. This won't be in any particular order, just 5 bad movies that I've seen and I regret watching. Keep in mind, this is just my personal opinion, there's no right or wrong to your opinions on these films, but nevertheless, let's get to it. Alright, coming at number 5 is the Twilight Saga movies. This one is sort of different from the other films coming up on this list because I thought it was alright when I, out of curiosity, checked them out, but then going back to them a bit, I thought, no, they're not so great. I mean, sure, the 1,000 Years song in the last movie is beautiful, but that's not enough to save the series due to being based on an already terrible book series, terrible chemistry between the two leading characters, and just bad morals here and there, like it's okay to abuse your partner, which it isn't. Sure, this franchise has some fandom, and I respect opinions towards those that like it, but it's just not my cup of tea. Coming at number 4 is the Star Wars Holiday Special from 1978. I love the Star Wars franchise, it's one of my favourite movie franchises of all time, but my least favourite thing related to the franchise is the 1978 Holiday Special, because I don't remember anything about it apart from that it's a boring eyesore special that doesn't even deserve to call itself a quote holiday special. I would rather much watch the Lego Star Wars Holiday Special since that one is much better. Coming at number 3 is The Mummy 2017. This one's interesting because it's the only movie in the Mummy franchise that I've actually seen, and for something that is trying to set up a dark universe, I don't know what it would be, it did it all wrong. I mean, the tone doesn't work, Nick Morton is just an unlikable protagonist, and it tries so hard to set up a cinematic universe instead of being a movie on its own to begin with. Need I say more? Alright, coming at number 2 is Son of the Mask. Now here's a sequel to a movie I really like. I love The Mask with Jim Carrey, it's one of his best roles yet. So much so that he cannot be replaced as the Mask. Speaking of which, when offered to reprise his role back in the day, he didn't want to. So, what did New Line Cinema do? They decided to make a standalone sequel with Jamie Kennedy as the Mask, and just make it as abysmal as possible. I mean, the humour is unfunny and disgusting, the CGI is unsettling and scary, and it's just a mess of a movie that I do not recommend at all. And the number 1 worst movie I've ever seen is Fantastic Four 2015, or Fant4tastic. This is number 1 for being the worst superhero movie I've ever seen, and the worst movie I've ever seen in theatres. From what I remember, and I'm not going to watch it again like with all the other films on this list, it was just dull and boring. I could do a better job with making a superhero movie entertaining. Also, this movie had an incredibly troubled production that goes all over the place, from the director bullying Kate Mara, reshoots, and the list goes on, blah blah blah. And the CGI and special effects in this movie are just horribly done. I mean, for fuck's sake, just look at the design of the thing on this poster. He seriously looks like King Kong, except covered in shit. But hopefully the upcoming MCU version of Fantastic Four will be, quote, fantastic. And those are the top 5 worst movies I've ever seen. It's only 5 because while there are movies that I'm kind of curious about in this world, there are just some others that I just completely stay away from, such as Food Fight, Norman of the North, and The Last Airbender movie. Films like those I just mentioned can be for a top 10 video of movies I never plan on watching. What are the top worst movies you've ever seen? Tell me down in the comments, and thank you all for watching, and skadoosh.